If we have any consolation in life, we can be thankful that the most extreme parts of ourselves and the most grounded being we seek to stand with and represent ourselves are connected. The most extreme parts of ourselves, the most passionate, the most loving, the most hateful, the most death-seeking, the most life-giving, any good or bad thing through humanity, we need to be connected in some way in our grounded, complete, full self. So to be that is to appreciate as well as grow in contrast, especially in the relative of what to say, when to say it, how much to do, how much not to do, excess, limit, overflow, debt, slavery, abundance, lack, life, death. Big contrasts here. Let that be connected to the part of you that seems boring and vanilla and complacent. Speak to yourself lovingly, even if it feels like, actually, especially when it arises that you feel you don't deserve any love, let alone all the love. So be who you are. Love that God gives you some consolation. All the consolation. If He's going to overflow you with a capacity to feel pain and neglect and absence, what feels like death or dying, mortality itself, a curse, is the way it's supposed to be, that you would enjoy consolation, peace, conciliation, God telling you He's happy that you are who you are for the purpose that He will make you to be something so much more. And that contrast, that comparison, is to be experienced toward the fullest and greatest appreciation that any of us may know for the time being. And that will become one with everyone's experience, individually connected to all as one. And that is the installation into the new humanity. The old deals with death and dying and crap. The new deals with life and giving and crap. But the crap is different on both sides of this experience. And you are made to experience both. Not to be stripped of it, but to be shown all. Allotted as all. Given all. Favored in all. Loved in all. Hated in all. I think if we, even as dying humans, were to dwell in love and hate long enough, or have enough experiences that tell us that that's what it is, would appreciate love and hate at the outcome rather than pit them against each other continually. Because we know that perfect love casts out all fear. And perfect love is not talked about in our age. Not in the way that it is to be understood. And even for those who understand it, our lives are no better than anyone else's. We're simply placed for a duty and a purpose and value that God sees fit to call Himself one. If any are lacking at the end of the story, God truly, he won't become the one that he set out to be, and that's not a plan. That's a failure. God would plan and build and grow us. He is without measure. In order to understand that, he has to grow us up in that understanding, in peace and love, through tribulation and getting the shit kicked out of us, having to wipe your ass every day, having to wipe someone else's ass. You ever seen the effects of not wiping an ass? It's shitty. And that's a bunch of crap. Crap that I don't want to deal with anymore, but I deal with it on this side of the rock. If I'm made to stand and say stuff that's not hip and modern, don't look at me, look at what has been, because the good thing about what's been is it's already done. So look at your future as a process being completed, and your experience in that is crucial. You may be limited or given understanding in one way or another, but to realize that all of this cohesively ends up safely in a home, as the home of the living God. God delights to dwell in all of us. Sticker show. Peace, love, grace. Crüsh.